The crew on board the SS Nightfall watched in horror as the empty ship in front of them, the SS Aurora, suddenly erupted into flames. But when the fire swallowed the ship, they knew something was awry. There were no screams, no cries for rescue. Then the ship burned in utter silence, and then it sank into the fog as if gobbled up by the sea itself. It was the winter of 1941, and the Battle of the Atlantic raged on. Convoy OB-23 was a convoy of 7 cargo ships and 2 escort destroyers that was going to England with weapons, ammunition, and food supplies. The convoy's route was treacherous, passing through waters swarming with German U-boats. The sailors understood the risks, but they also understood the importance of their mission. Each shipment was a lifeline to the war effort. The commander of the convoy, Captain Edward Harrington, was a man of steadfast determination. He had battled U-boats, storms, and even mutinies. But as the convoy entered a stretch of ocean called the Silent Passage, a chill he could not explain settled over him. The Silent Passage had a notorious record among sailors. Ships attempting to enter it often reported bizarre happenings, ghostly apparitions. Harrington brushed off these tales as wartime superstition, but his crew was less certain. The first night in the Silent Passage was so uneventful that the ships had to rely on radar and signal lights to stay in formation as they navigated through foot-thick fog. But as dawn approached, the crew of the SS Nightfall saw something weird. MV SS Aurora, the cargo ship trailing the convoy, armored with trembling lights. When the contact was made, Harrington ordered one of the escort destroyers, the HMS Valiant, to investigate. The Valiant found the crew of the Aurora agitated, but otherwise the ship itself was fine. Harrington deemed the incident a minor electrical problem and ordered the convoy to continue. But as night fell, the lights of the Aurora went out altogether, and the ship vanished into a fog. The convoy spent hours searching, but found no sign of the missing vessel. No debris, no oil slick, just a big empty ocean. The following evening, the SS Nightfall saw the Aurora once more. It was sailing in front of the convoy, its lights glimmering dimly in the fog. The Nightfall crew attempted to communicate with the vessel, but received no reply. Then suddenly the Aurora erupted in flames. The fire quickly spread, engulfing the ship in minutes. But the Nightfall's crew watched in horror, realizing something wasn't right. There were no screams, no cries for assistance. The ship burned silently. As the flames extinguished, the Aurora started to go under. The crew of the Nightfall got ready to deploy lifeboats. But before they could do so, the ship disappeared into the fog. It didn't sink, it disappeared, as though swallowed by the ocean itself. The SS Horizon, another cargo ship, started to stray off course. The Resolute attempted to signal the ship, but it received no response. The Horizon's crew appeared on deck, their faces blank and unblinking. The ship sailed into the fog and vanished, leaving the convoy in shocked silence. Harrington ordered the rest of the ships to close formation and prepare to run for it. But before they could do anything, the fog lifted, and a gargantuan shadowy figure appeared in the distance. It was a ship, bigger than any they had seen, its hull charcoaled and rusty. The sailors had watched in horror as the ship sailed toward them, its horn blaring a basso. By the third night, the convoy was on its toes, ghost ships and cursed waters. The fog was thicker than ever, and the sea was unsettlingly calm. That's when the crew of the HMS Resolute said they saw figures on the water. They initially mistook it for debris from the Aurora, but as the figures approached, they realized they were people, dozens of people, bobbing just beneath the surface. Their faces were ashen and blank, their eyes huge with fear. But no sooner had they touched the water than the figures drifted apart in a mist. The sailors were rattled, but Harrington directed the convoy to continue. Heat-ridden radios went haywire, compasses twirled without reason, and the ship's engines sputtered for no clear cause. Indistinct voices that appeared to emanate from the fog itself. By the fourth night, only 5 ships remained of the convoy. The fog was so dense that sailors could barely see their own decks. The murmurs began rising to words that chilled them to the bone. Turn back. Leave this place. You don't belong here.